From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Good evening. The ink has dried on a contract that locks Tasmania into a share of the $5 billion Marinus Link. And while the Premier describes it as the deal of the century, it's become a setback to his attempt in forming government as at least one independent pulls support.
Against the backdrop of Bass Strait confirmation, Tasmania has signed on to the $5 billion cable which will cut across the stretch of water, locking taxpayers into a share of the costs and benefits of the 750 megawatt link.
They're going to be better off with their power prices, they're going to be better off with their energy security.
Funneling an extra $470 million a year into state coffers.
Address our budget challenges, invest in schools, hospitals, community safety.
The future Tasmania will look back at this time and on this day and celebrate what's just happened.
It will mean greater access to energy for major industrials in 5 years' time.
It provides certainty for developers to start building wind farms, building solar farms, and I think that at least goes some way towards providing timelines for when more energy will become available.
The deal done without the tick of approval from Labor.
There's opportunities in this deal, and that's about building new renewable energy, but there's also risks to major industrials and risks to mums and dads.
Questions persist about the reliability of projected benefits and the impact on state debt.
It seems that some of those things are being glossed over in favour of saying this is a good deal. So I think it's really hard to have great faith in this being the deal of the century when there's so many unanswered questions.
And the cloak and dagger handling of that deal is doing no favours for Jeremy Rockliff's attempt to retain power.
The Premier has learnt nothing. He's treating parliamentarians with contempt, he's treating Tasmanians with contempt.
They can't handle sharing information and collaborating with across the Parliament such an important information basis about a major policy issue that will impact Tasmanians for generations to come. And that certainly is a black mark against their name. It's
the final straw for Braddon Independent Craig Garland. He won't be supporting the Liberal Party.
The people in this state expect us to make this government work. It's not going to work under the Liberals. They don't know how to collaborate and compromise. So now it's time to give somebody else a bit of a crack.
The Premier happy to stake his leadership on what he's labelled a worthy project.
Cool heads must prevail. Every single member of Parliament needs to take responsibility for what is in the best interests of Tasmania.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, it still seems Tasmanians want a Liberal government, but only by the slimmest of margins. A post-election poll conducted by EMRS this week finding less than half of voters prefer the Liberals to retain power, but that's 6 points ahead of Labor, while almost 1/5 couldn't decide. When it comes to favourability, Jeremy Rockliff is well ahead of Dean Winter, who is also falling short of Greens leader Rosalie Woodruff and Independents Christy Johnson and David O'Byrne. Police are investigating a car fire in Elizabethtown after determining it was deliberately lit. Multiple crews were called to a private property off the Bass Highway at around 8:30 this morning to find a white station wagon engulfed in flames. While responders quickly got the blaze under control, authorities are now looking for leads into its cause. Anyone with information on the fire or suspicious activity in the area is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers Tasmania. A person has been taken to hospital after 2 cars collided on Hobart's eastern shore this afternoon. The crash happened on La Perouse Street at Warrane around 3 o'clock. Crews freed the driver after becoming trapped in the car. Injuries are unknown at this stage and an investigation is underway. Almost half a kilometre of road was closed in the Launceston suburb of Ravenswood this morning in the wake of a house fire. Fire crews were called to the scene around 6:15, shutting down Lambert Street between Nelson Court and Faraday Street. No injuries were reported and authorities say they believe the blaze was deliberately lit. An investigation is now underway. One of Australia's largest Navy vessels will be docked in Hobart for the next 5 days. While the HMAS Adelaide is usually busy delivering aid to island countries such as Fiji, members of the public will have permission to board this weekend.
It's one of the largest Navy ships of its kind and it carries everything that one might need.
Phenomenal capability. We're a ro-ro ship, an airport, we have a doctor's surgery, we have a hospital on board, bakers.
HMAS Adelaide docking in Hobart until Tuesday. Well, it's usually bound to deliver aid and disaster relief to countries like Fiji and Tonga. The crew will give the public a rare peek behind the scenes this weekend.
We've got 2 landing craft down at the dock, so the team will be able to put that on display. My divers, my army team will be on board ready to show their kit, along with our firefighting and damage control equipment.
Experience like the amazing things we get to do every day, like coming up onto the flight deck where we are right now. It's amazing to be able to see the whole of Hobart, and we kind of dwarf Hobart looking at it from up here.
This vessel is about 230 metres long, a preferred point of difference for many on board.
The only other sea posting I've ever done has been on HMAS Chulls, and this ship's a lot more stable. Don't get seasick on this one.
HMAS Adelaide is set to return to Sydney on Tuesday, but not before the crew have a chance to catch up with loved ones.
My 2 sisters still live here. They're keen to see me when the day is done.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
In an attempt to ease Hobart's housing crisis, there are calls to transform the current Swisher basketball site in Hobart into medium-density housing. The site is earmarked to be sold, the Yes in My Backyard group fearing that means it will become a car park or retail space.
And the thing that needs to be done is more supply. We simply don't have enough houses, and the place for that supply to be is in the inner city.
It's a remarkable site. It's on the northern edge of our city. It's close to hospitals, it's close to schools, it's close to recreational opportunities and, of course, business in the city.
The group has written to UTAS, Hobart Council and Government, sharing its concerns and awaiting a response. One of the state's fiercest rivalries will be soon reignited when local musicians and media face off in the annual RecLink Community Cup. To support this year's event, the Tasmania Devils have teamed up with a music icon, creating a one-of-its-kind guitar now up for grabs.
Fine-tuning before the return of a fierce rivalry. Local musos and media will soon lace up the boots for the annual Hobart RecLink Community Cup.
We've had really great numbers at training and everyone's really amped for what's going to be, I think, the 9th edition of the game this year.
The Van Diemen Dogs are taking on the Ramonas August 24. And it's not just bragging rights up for grabs.
A one-of-a-kind, limited edition Tasmania Devils Fender Telecaster guitar, and we're auctioning it off all in the bid to raise funds for RecLink Australia.
The real thing's still in production, but bidding has already opened, starting at $1,000.
Seeing activations and opportunities to work with brands like a prevalent brand like Fender and a great community brand like RecLink is really empowering for our club.
Showcasing amateur footy at its finest, all for a great cause, supporting disadvantaged Tasmanians.
RecLink's programs really support people right across the Tasmanian community and in getting them engaged in sport and recreation programs, and all the funds raised at the Hobart RecLink Cup go straight back into that.
The Dogs have typically come in cup favourites thanks to consecutive victories in previous clashes, but last year saw a major shake-up.
Last year was actually a draw in what was the tightest game in the RecLink Community Cup's history.
Hoping this year will deliver another thriller. Rebecca Gadenera, 7 Tasmania News.
And I would have been out too if it wasn't for my condition, my lazy condition. And here's another thing going up for those that are into fitness. A record number of runners are expected to hit the road for this year's Point to Pinnacle race. Registrations opened this morning with over 900 participants already signed up to conquer the mountain for the 30th edition of the iconic half marathon.
And this year we're looking to break 5,000 for the first time, which would be a record for a running race in Tasmania.
The race has raised over $4.5 million since it became a fundraising event in 2012. The winter chill is leaving Hobart's housing market, the city recording the second largest monthly rise in house prices among the capitals. According to PropTrack's latest report, prices lifted by 0.5% in July, now sitting more than 3% higher than at the same time last year. Hobart remains the second least expensive capital behind Darwin, with the median cost of a home at $665,000. Tasmania's leading pinball exhibition Taspin is gearing up for what's promising to be its biggest show yet. Organisers are hoping for a strong turnout this weekend, with the event's proceeds to go to Launceston General Hospital's 4K Children's Ward Auxiliary.
Bigger and better. That's the promise of this year's Taspin exhibition. The pinball event upping its game for its 4th outing to meet increased demand.
Over the 4 sessions for the weekend, we're expecting 900 people.
Last year's event boasted around 50 machines. This year, there'll be close to 80. It's thanks in no small part to a larger event space. Organisers swapping their former home at Launceston's Italian Club for the nearby country club.
We're able to give people more machines and offer a more variety.
Behind the initiative is the Tassie Pinball Mafia, an 8-man team of enthusiasts who came together back in 2016 to share their passion, especially for the game's golden era.
80s and 90s were really the pinnacle of uniqueness in pinball, or life under glass.
But the exhibition won't focus on just one time period.
Featuring machines dating back to the 1930s to these state-of-the-art models, the event features almost a century of pinball history.
But people come to play all the old ones and the new ones.
Funds raised from the showcase go towards a good cause.
I'd love to think that we could raise $20,000 for the 4K Children's Ward Auxiliary. To the ladies there, they do a magnificent job.
Aaron Smith, 7 Tasmania News.
The Boomers' win over Colorado University has come at a huge cost for the Jack Jumpers. They'll be without Sean McDonald for the foreseeable future, rupturing his ACL in last night's clash. McDonald was able to get back up and land a free throw before hobbling to the other end of the court and going down for good in the final seconds. Tasmania is now hunting a replacement player with less than 4 weeks until their first game at the NBL Blitz. Meanwhile, Northwest Tasmanian Rain Smith was making it look easy with back-to-back three-pointers for 11 points and 4 rebounds, plus 7 points and 6 assists from Will Magnay. So Australia came back from a 1-point half-time deficit to win 93-87.
You know, a lot of this international and FIBA basketball is about just finding ways to win, and obviously we got that done tonight. A lot we can work on, but a good first hit out for us for sure.
The Boomers open their Asia Cup campaign against Korea in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday night. Devonport and Kingborough can both sniff a shot at NPL glory, but every game is must-win from here, including tomorrow when they face each other. Kingborough's already beaten the Strikers twice this season, but that doesn't mean anything.
This game, above any other game we've had all season, is important because just how close we are.
Flush with up-and-coming talent, Kingborough's women are staying realistic about their chance against undefeated Devonport.
Just kind of figured out we're just here to set up our season properly for next year and be prepared. Obviously, we want to win.
Lucky Seljack winners, South Hobart remain undefeated atop the NPL ladder.
Good evening. It was a cold start to the day today with morning frost and fog across most of the state. 14 was the high in Launceston, 13 across Hobart and Burnie, Devonport reaching at 12 degrees. 16 was the state's top in Eddystone, Cressy reaching 10 degrees and 11 in Strawn. Onshore winds were seen maintaining low-level cloud about the west of the state today, with the cloud pushing over parts of the south this afternoon. Further out, areas of cloud with embedded thunderstorms are seen across southern Queensland and New South Wales. Tomorrow, light showers are expected across the north, increasing about the northwest during the evening. Variable winds tomorrow reaching 10 knots with swells up to 5 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. A road weather alert is current across most of the state tomorrow for icy roads. Let's take a closer look at tomorrow's forecast now. Hobart 14, morning frost and sun across Medina and Oatlands. In the north, 14 across Launceston and Devonport, Lyweenie reaching 7 degrees. Burnie tomorrow, a shower or two. Strawn 14, a possible shower in Marrawar. St Helens can expect a shower or two and partly cloudy across Swansea and Orford. Looking ahead into next week now, Sunday showers about the north, fine elsewhere. Monday, some light showers about the north increasing to the northwest during the evening. And Tuesday, showers statewide more widespread about the north and west. Looking around Australia now, Perth 18 and rain tomorrow, Adelaide partly cloudy and 26 in Cairns. And currently Hobart cloudy and 8 degrees, clear in Launceston and clear in Devonport 8 degrees right now. That's all from me tonight, Murph. Have a great weekend.
And you too, Jackie. Good luck with football tomorrow. That's all we have for the first day of August, and very happy birthday to all the horses out there, including our little fella Dennis, who turned 6. Michael Maney in the chair over the weekend. For now, good night.